Today on Toy Habits Reviews, we are taking a detailed look at the heroic masters of weapons in Filmation form. And before we dive into the review, smash that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a beat. Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits, and we have the cartoon collection Man-at-Arms in the spotlight, and we're comparing him to his first Masters of the Universe Origins figure release. So let's start off like we usually do and take a look at the packaging. And here we have Man-at-Arms on card, and he looks amazing. The colors really pop and play off of each other really nicely on these cartoon collection card backs. They feature a nice array of blues and purples, and the yellow armor and the green suit that Man-at-Arms is wearing really pops. You can also see Man-at-Arms front and center, and his massive mace and his stasis ray packed in beside him. And on the back of the card, we get to see what the Filmation cartoon episode inspired this version of Man-at-Arms, and this one comes as seen on the Dragon Invasion. So not only do we get an amazing illustration of Man-at-Arms and his stasis ray, we also see the dragon in the corner, but more importantly, we see Ram Man busting through a wall, which signifies he's definitely coming to the cartoon collection. And we can also see Man-at-Arms illustration of him posing with the stasis ray, as well as he's able to twist into powerful battle positions, whatever that is. We can also see the cross cell on the back, which is, for all intents and purposes, Wave 1 and also Wave 2 of the cartoon collection. All right, now let's break Mr. Man-at-Arms out of his plastic prison and take a look at the figure. And here is Man-at-Arms out of the package, and let's zoom in like we usually do and start at the top and work our way down. Now, Man-at-Arms has a wonderful face sculpt, and he has a very cool reddish brown mustache, but it really doesn't match his eyebrows, but it does match the carpet down below. So maybe Man-at-Arms is using Just for Men on his mustache to give him that youthful appearance. But head sculpt aside, the helmet is awesome. It has more of like a metallic blue finish on it and some of the yellow detailing that matches his armor. It also has a sculpted piece on the crest of the helmet which angles down, and it does have a angular form at the bottom where it meets the base of his neck. And looking around the other side, he does have the same markings, and they're basically mirror images of each other. Man-at-Arms is also clad in his classic yellow armor, and I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick this up, but the texturing on here, I'm not sure if it's the texturing or the paint app that's applied to this plastic, but it kind of has a metallic sheen that matches the metallic blue texturing on his helmet. So I really like that aspect of it. He also has his classic angular chest armor that covers his neck, and you can also see some of the arm armor covering his shoulder and biceps and also his forearms, and they are the same on both sides. They are just mirror images of each other. But so far, this Man-at-Arms is looking amazing. And moving down to the legs, he does come with the new cartoon collection figure buck legs, which have such a ripped look to the quad. So maybe this is a more youthful version of Man-at-Arms. And of course, the shin armor, really all the detail is stripped out here, and it's just left with a plain piece of shin armor, but that's what the cartoon collection is all about. And he has some brown shoes to match his furry loincloth and his mustache. All right, well, let's take a look at Man-at-Arms weapons and accessories next. All right, and Man-at-Arms comes with a massive mace and his stasis ray. So let's take a look at his mace, and this is a very ginormous mace and really not what we are used to in the Motu Origins collection, because his last mace was really, really puny, which we'll take a look at in a second. But it features a large ball and a wrap around cylindrical sculpt for the head of the mace, and the handle is really nice. It has some groove detail in here, and it also comes to a nice ball at the bottom. Here is his stasis ray, and the stasis ray has a very similar paint app to Man-at-Arms helmet, so it's more of a metallic blue paint app, and this stasis ray has a lot of detail to it. So it has like a sight, it's got handles, it's got more detail underneath, and it really gives it a really cool look. And I love that Mattel is not skimping on these parts and making these parts really detailed. All right, well, let's take a look at how Man-at-Arms looks all geared up with his weapons and accessories. And here is Man-at-Arms holding his mace, and this mace is actually a very nicely scaled weapon for him. It goes really nicely with the overall look, and for a master of weapons, this is the size of mace that he should actually have come with in the vintage design, which we'll take a look at in a second, but he looks great holding his mace like this. And here is Man-at-Arms holding his stasis ray, and he looks really, really nice. The weapon fits really nicely in his hands, and so he can grasp both handles and really make like he is looking like he is using the stasis ray like he did in the Dragon Invasion episode. But like I said before, the metallic blue color on this stasis ray is very similar to the paint app on his helmet. They are slightly different shades of the same color, but that metallic sheen and texturing really comes through in hand. And here is Man-at-Arms, the Cartoon Collection version on the left versus the Motu Origins release that we first saw, and man, these figures could not look more night and day. So they really tried to capture the Filmation version in the Cartoon Collection Man-at-Arms, and they actually did a great job of capturing the vintage figure sculpt, but they also added a mustache. So maybe they were trying to test out whether they could recreate this cartoon version just by adding a mustache to him. And I have to say, no. It was a gallant effort, but I love the way that this Cartoon Collection version looks. And the armor is similarly shaped. The Cartoon Collection version has a much brighter yellow to it than the more orange-yellow version on the Origins figure. And like I was alluding to before, the maces are of very different sizes, so I also thought that the Origins mace was kind of puny for the heroic Master of Weapons, but we also have juxtaposed here the Cartoon Collection Man-at-Arms mace, which is massive. Also, the colors of the figure are a little bit different. So the Motu Origins version of Man-at-Arms has a much brighter green than the Cartoon Collection, which is more of a darker green, and the armor pieces are also very different as well. So in the Motu Origins version, there's a lot more detail here, and I don't know about yours, but I always have a hard time keeping these particular pieces, getting them to stay on really tightly. But you can also see that the Cartoon Collection Man-at-Arms arm armor is just also a stripped down, more plain version to resemble the Filmation cartoon. And looking at the lower bodies, the legs sculpts are very different just because the Cartoon Collection is using a different figure buck, but you can also see that the shin armor is different as well, and Man-at-Arms Origins comes with an extra piece of shin armor, which actually looks very cool on the figure. And other than that, the helmets are also in different shades as well. So this is more of an aquamarine color, I would say, versus more of that metallic blue. But I'm really digging the Motu Origins Cartoon Collection figures. And here are the Cartoon Collection figures, Man-at-Arms and Skeletor side by side as they come out at the same time. And thank you to an astute viewer, Christopher, for pointing out in my Skeletor review that I actually have a factory error, and the error is that his nose is not painted black inside. So I will be making a quick phone call to Mattel to get this sorted out. And here is Man-at-Arms next to his good buddy He-Man. These are both Cartoon Collections versions, and I can't wait for more figures to be put out and revealed for this line because it's gonna look amazing. And that wraps up the review for the Cartoon Collection Man-at-Arms, so let us know what you think about this figure in the comments below, and be sure to check out the fantastic still image review done by the one and only Toy Sorceress on our website at www.toyhabits.com. The link to the review is provided in the description and the pinned comment, so check that out. Also, we've deduced that the Cartoon Collection Man-at-Arms must be an Amazon exclusive for the time being, and the link is also provided in the description below, so be sure to save that link and check the stock status if you've not secured yourself a figure. And on your way out, be sure to smash that like button, and if you've not subscribed to the channel, we would really appreciate it. See you next time.